your opponent gets the best wave clear, way better poke than you. So we're headed into Infernal Shrines. This is the map where we'll see the priority of Medivh and Diablo. Sonya could even rise up to first pick material here. Will the Phoenix pick continue to be the kind of focal point for KSV Black is the other question. We've had Rich play it, we've had Reset play it, so they're going to have to draft a soul laner this time. They will not be able to just simply roam around the map, abuse their wave clear, abuse their poke.
Talking about roam around the map, where's Medivh in the series? Not being banned, not being picked at all. I think this is the map where we may have the highest chance of seeing that Medivh pick, which has not been used by either teams, maybe a few times by Black only. Ballistix, they tried their Maiev team comp in Game 2. Maybe they have been preparing that Medivh strategy also. It is Infernal Shrines, works pretty well with the protection. Once you hit 13, you have that AoE protection.
Thoughts here on this first pick, or sorry, first ban. I mean, KSV Black has banned the Hanzo and the Malfurion. We'll go for the Malfurion ban once again. I get the feeling that KSV Black, they had second pick twice, and this is their third time. They've intentionally left Phoenix open every time. They want it, but also I think they have a counter prepared. Is Ballistix willing to test that theory?
This time they let Hanzo through, which means they want to grab something else. I'm feeling Medivh.
I think Medivh would be a smart pick, but if they just go into the Medivh, Sonya, Diablo first rotation, they're going to be doing the same thing that Ace did. A number 2 team taking the same style and strategy of a number 8 team, taking those top tier picks just because they're strong, but not working out what your opponent is drafting. You may feel that this is an unstoppable combo and it's given you great success. It's launched you to second place of HGC Korea, but will it work against defending back-to-back global champions KSV Black? We're going to take the Uther first pick. Okay.
Which basically means they are likely to pick Genji after. But this is quite puzzling. And Black will bring their own Maiev along with Sonya. Uther first pick.
Uther is very weak against Maiev. Does not have a lot of sustained healing. And he cannot save you very well if you get pulled. Unless he was going to burn Divine Shield, which is... Or his Cleanse, which has a long cooldown, but that's it. Whereas a Rhaegar can help slow and help you escape. You have Stukov, who can silence in moments when Maiev is dropping out the Warden's Cage, so Uther just doesn't have any of that. So they're going to pick the Maiev for the first time this series. It was banned in Game 1, picked against them in Game 2, and now we look at Ballistix. What do they want to draft? Are they going to do just the straight-up Genji? Will they take a more classic approach with the Grey Mane? This is all about SC right now, the man you see at the forefront of your bottom middle of the screen, the DPS player.
Do you feel confident enough to pick your own Phoenix against KSV Black in Game 3? Lots of choices open. It is going to be SC's Hanzo on this map, finally open for play.
And the Holy Cow with ETC coming through as well is a possibility with the Divine Shield and Mosh Pits, Cleanse Mosh Pits we've seen on this map. So the ETC pick, it's pretty strong against Maiev because Maiev has to get into melee range in order to activate her Umbral Bind. And also she has to put herself into a situation where she could find herself trapped with everyone else inside of the Warden's Cage against potential Mosh Pits. Very easy to set those up when you have the Uther on your side. And now, KSV Black, tough ban here. They could try to ban Malthael if they want to play it super safe.
To dominate the solo lane. Because there's CPS support and a tank taken, I think that is the best way. Possibly even sniping for a Blaze if they want to go all the way. Picking up the counter, pulse that has not been really used by Ballistix ever since Natrojin moved out.
Yeah, no, exactly. Natrojin sitting in the room right next to us, man. He's not in this game. Stukov is the obvious ban for Ballistix, and this is the first time Ballistix has had a draft that looks like it has flexibility, and they're drafting really carefully as they go about it, taking away possible counters, weakening their opponent's draft while also leaving openings for a strong soul laner and the second DPS here at the end of the day. KSV Black has loved to use the Junkrat combo with Maiev in the past. Stukov obviously a big winner for them as well, but you really want to run the Junkrat here against the Hanzo. You're going to be losing out on sustained damage. You're leaving yourself potential risk there. Great for the Shrine, but not so great for anything else, minus the combos, especially pre-10. They're going to take it, though, with this Rhaegar. So it'll be the second Rhaegar tonight for KSV Black.
Rhaegar was just enough to heal. Even Ancestral and Tracer most of the time, finding the right target. Connected almost all the time.
Yeah, incredible timings on to Rich last game. It was insane.
Having Sonya here, of course we don't have the tank for KSV Black yet. But we'll find a nice target to control with it. ETC on the other hand, Holy Cow can disrupt the entire Wombo combo. You can't really stop that from happening. The big AoE is not as big as Cage, but once you're right in there, it is the time for Hanzo and the other DPS to do the damage.
Is it time to see the Phoenix of SDE again? We saw it yesterday. It's the Warp build. Great success. Really strong on this map for finishing off the last Punishers, or sorry, Defenders with Hanzo to get those Punishers. I think this might be time. Gul'dan instead, though, the even safer pick with the Leoric top lane matchup against Sonya. Great for Shrine control. Noblesse, now pictured here, calls out the Anubarak pick for Tist. We're going into Tist's first game of Anubarak tonight. This is going to be a fiery one. Could end the series, could propel KSV Black to first place. They could win regular season right now. The composition of Ballistix is not top tier, but what it is safe, and it's very well thought out. It's a very adaptive draft, their first of the series.
And if you look at all the picks individually for all the teammates, it is what they like to play the most, what they played the most. In part 1, they are getting that comfortable pick. Game 2, they were away from that comfortable zone, and actually costed them big time by positioning, the timing. There was less of a synergy compared to before. But with these picks, the practice amount and the play amount during the tournament is insane. I think we're going to see some major synergy in this game.
Ironic, we see Noblesse, the former Ballistix player, coaching their enemies now. We started the night with these two having a score domestically in Korea, 5-5 in best of series, 17 maps to 17. KSV Black has turned the score to 19-17. History in the making here. KSV Black will take the lead if they're able to take this final game with the former tank player Ballistix at the helm of the drafting that's been superior all night long. Ballistix finally brings something different here, something unique. And SC's on his best hero. When the Hanzo ban does not occur, it's left open. SC looks to carry once again.
And SDA bringing that Gul'dan seems very tough in terms of positioning. If the Umbral Bind connects onto Gul'dan even once, that's the end. That's the beginning and the end. I'm saying SD has to really carefully position, but there are lots of dives from KSV Black, like Anubarak. Cocoons can always block the defense. Cocooning Uther, and no Divine Shield, no healing amount coming to Gul'dan basically means
oh my god, look at this, by the way. This coordinated CC coming through. Reset wishes he was part of that party. He would have had the Concussive Mind follow-up. Playing with their food here a little bit, KSV Black, tossing the ragdolls around. But yeah, Cocoon is a huge factor as to why they picked the Anubarak. There's the first pick onto ETC.
Well, we didn't get to quite catch all of that, but we know exactly what happened.
Concussive Minds, Umbral Binds, Rhaegar damage. You got a little bit of it all. The slow from Rhaegar as well. They're roaming as for killing machines, KSV Black right now, but top lane matchup suffering a little bit. Looks like two of the Drain Hopes did connect onto Sonya, forcing Sonya to hearth back. So Jungha is keeping Ballistix in this early game right now.
I think that is why they picked Leoric. It is going to be very tough for ETT to soak all the damage, so might as well soak the damage. If I die, I can come back anytime. So that's why Jungha picked Leoric, one of his favorite picks. Best picks also. So saving that amount of heal so that it could go to DPS. I think they are really thinking ahead in terms of what to do, who should get the amount of healing and what they have to do during the team fight. But Black has a lot of DC. that can be changed anytime.
Certainly. Big fight here. Again, Jungha winning it last time. It's up using his Ostian Renewal to continue to heal up here. Out-sustaining the Sonya there. We're actually seeing the rotation up here of Rich. Going to try to dominate this lane because they've been frustrated with how it's been going so far. This means that they can't invade the red side Sapper camp right now. And they actually control this top lane right before the Shrine becomes active. Junkrat will have to clear this though, or Ballistix is going to have that extra macro against them. This is not going to be too impactful. The fact they get this early is nice. It can help push the lane away so they can control the Shrine faster, but it's not going to be the long distance macro that the Impaler camp has in the mid lane. They're actually threatening a reset right now. They're like, clear this, I dare you.
Ooh, they may be going on to Lyric, just walks away.
Already used his Wraith Walk. Here's the CCs. Stacking them together. Jungha, though, is just going to turn this into a fight. Getting the slow here. So much corruption damage.
Big rotation off from Ballistix. Not really going to contest too much.
Reset's not here yet. He's still clearing this camp. Does concussively knock these Goatmen into the cannon towers. So he's going to head up now. Echo Corruption stacks got to be pretty high right now for SDE. Has been hitting those very well.
Look at the positioning. Focus on the positioning of SDE, most likely, and CSC here. There's a bind.
Rich.
Not really going to connect. Rich taking a lot of damage.
But he's brave. He wants to go in. He wants those Q resets, and he's getting them pretty well so far. He does die, but this is a one fight for KSV Black. If they can kill SC, he's solo, doing so much damage. He gets taken out here. Hooligan's going to be the next to die. And even though they took Rich out of the fight, he did so much damage with those Q resets, so much CC coming through. And with crowd control, KSV Black take control of this Shrine, grab the first Punisher of the game. It's an arcane Punisher,
That
and
was
Ballistix is in trouble.
basically debated by Rich. They know exactly that he's less than half HP. They want to focus on him, but within that time, all the other heroes, Rehgar, Sonya, even a Nubarak Junkrat doing so much AoE damage in that choke point. Totally debated by Rich play there.
Rich has so much he can do with this hero when he's got the vault. Jungha's going to be the target here, but perfectly times his Wraith Walk, even baits the Arcane Punisher into using its stun there. Mitigating a lot of potential CCs there with that Wraith Walk, but Rich being aggressive, wanted to bind to SC there, but SC is going to actually punish him for this quite a bit. Junkrat's been bouncing back and forth between mid and bottom reset, gaining that extra soak, giving them, even though this Punisher didn't get a fort, they've got a massive lead and experience now, a whole level.
How can Ballistix come back into the game? It's so hard for SD to even move an inch closer because he'll be in trouble. We saw that positioning, he was never in the Shrine, he was always in the back line around. But once team really started to lose their position, lose their HP, it was impossible for him to do the massive damage. Maybe once he finishes the stack, maybe he can have that massive power spike. But before that, I think Ballistix has to be a little bit more passive compared to their last team fight.
The stacks he can get, the corruption, the Echo Corruption, once that finishes, he's going to have double potential damage against KSV's very aggressive CC-based dive comp. He's also going to have Horrify post-10, which can really mess up what Rich is trying to do. Rich is basically coming in as if he's a tank. He knows that Maiev is very powerful in this meta. He's one of the best Maiev players in the world. Mastered her early. You can watch his stream. You can watch his first-person view. Right now, if you want to see how it's done, look at that. Even dodges the power slide.
The cleanse
That's
was not even needed.
Wasted cleanse because actually Rich is just too good. But the theoreticals here for Horrify are quite powerful. Just what you can do. Oh, they baited out the Wraith Walk way early.
Look at that body block.
He's going to go down here. Very likely. No way out of this one.
They created a wall.
Yep. And Jungha paid for it, man. It was bad. Level 10's up now. Ballistix just needs to play calm. Jungha being too aggressive, soaking too far to try to get 10. If they had just taken more passive soak to 10 before this next Shrine, Shrine phase.
Yes.
I'm like, altars, no. I'm like,
Bell Tower, no.
temples, no. Bell Tower, no.
Infernal Shrine, yes.
I'm like, the next Immortals, no.
They just steal this
yeah,
because of the kill.
Yeah. But Ballistix, once they have 10, the Horrify is going to be, I think, such a cool thing they can use to bait a lot of these fights. The Holy Cow you were talking about earlier. Very powerful tools to engage. They have Entomb Mosh Pit potential. There's a lot of stuff that this comp could do post 10. I would even want to say their power spike is much higher than that of KSV Black's, even though they're running the Junkrat Maiev.
But there's that Anubarak. That's why Anubarak was locked in right after the final pick of the draft. Cocoon onto Uther. Cancels everything that Ballistix wants to do. No heals for Gul'dan, Hanzo, etc. No Divine Shield on them will basically mean we'll get a kill at least. So it is going to be tough. Very tough job for SG to actually provide that middle lane with the damage from the basic attack. Then the scatter arrow.
All right, let's see how KSV Black approaches this. Look at Rich's positioning. He's flanking for the cage. He's spotted by Hooligan. That's the tank's job, to prevent flanking like this. Very Noblesse move here. Noblesse-esque move. He uses the vault early, has to teleport away. So not going to be able to control this fight the way they want to. Entomb onto Kyocho, but he is able to spear away. Ballistix hiding their way in. Hooligan's actually now the flanker. Riptire out very early. They're trying to combine it with the stun. Cleanse comes in here. Hooligan, he's actually grabbed with this web wrap now. Zhenghe eats that damage from the Riptire. He may be the first to die as ETC is alone now. Knocked back by the Concussive Mine. Ancestral connects here. Zhenghe very low on health. Wants to find a flank here where he can heal up. Mosh Pit interrupted. Rich doing so much damage. Gets the cage up before he dies.
Oh, SC just jumps over the cage. He's not going to be in there. Divine Shield comes in down. Zhenghe's going down. But it seems like Ballistix is doing a lot more damage right now.
Yeah, but they're in the choke.
Low.
Junkrat is doing so much damage with this choke point. Reset, uncontested, blowing everybody up here. That's going to be the end of this fight. Kyocha going to kite back. They will win the second Punisher. Back-to-back Punishers here coming through for KSV Black. Gul'dan does steal a kill here, but it doesn't matter. The Punisher is more important. And look at this top push. No one can defend this while they're defending the Punisher, so they have to make a tough choice. SDE is going to come up here to clear this so they don't lose any damage on their keep, but that means it's going to be a free fort for KSV Black.
Okay, Wolf. That team fight was immense. SDE was doing maybe 12k damage in that team fight, but still not even having enough damage. Means something is not happening for Ballistix. Something's going wrong. And oftentimes we have Hooligan missing from the action, was cocooned the entire time.
Yeah, they got zoned away. They couldn't break him out of the cocoon, so even though he had an attempted mosh and he had that Divine Shield on him.
That sad mosh, dancing alone was just painful to watch.
He needs to be able to maximize these flanks. I loved how he shut down Rich from setting up a really cool cage, but more than that, the synergy wasn't there. They didn't use the Divine Shield to allow the mosh. They didn't empower it. It was interrupted. It was sad, as you say, not really catching anybody there. And Reset was left to do too much damage. He did more than SDE in that choke point, which should never theoretically happen. And it was without the Riptire, it was just with straight Qs and left clicks.
And Uther was just out of range from the cocoon. Here goes in,
Ooh,
focusing
gets
on
caught!
again!
Okay, he gets the Divine Shield, but he's got no mosh. Here comes the Riptire for the chase. They're just going to zone with it, and that's going to be another dead fort. Ballistix going to have to go home and lick their wounds. With this fort dead, KSV Black can look to rotate mid. That will be the last fort for Ballistix. That's going to push KSV Black closer and closer to level 16. Just soaking up everything there is on this map right now. And Hooligan outpositioned, outpoked, and caught there by the CCs.
Divine Shield on a long cooldown, but Zhenghe's doing what he's the best at. Always controlling the macro as Leoric. He's not on the screen too much, but always controlling the wave clear, getting their experience in the other lane oftentimes, not really getting caught too much. So at least they're not as behind as they think.
Yeah, not as behind as they think, but still quite behind. In terms of structures especially, yeah.
2 forts down, 11 minutes. I would say you always have a great chance of coming back here.
Yeah, you certainly do. We've got 3 forts up. And that's all, you know, if I say you got 3 forts up, I'm saying there's always a chance. There's always potential for comeback. This is not a lost game yet, but it is very much a losing game if they cannot fight for this next try. And they're going to have to do so with talent tier down.
The moment Hooligan turns that focus around into a giant mosh pit will be the end of the team fight. Black, when they were focusing on to Hooligan, they were all gathered up. I think the mosh pit might have been on cooldown on that second, and they also did not have Leoric into the fight, so there was no risk of fighting a 4v5. So Divine Shield was wasted, not used, but that's on a long cooldown, but they can buy the time to hit 16, just control the macro, not really fall behind too much. As long as they have the keeps, they can always come back into this game.
Certainly true. Gonna get this camp solo Kyocha is, while KSV Black is always threatening this mid fort, harassing it, having the better rotation up here, the faster one, they're going to clear the Shaman camp. Ballistix just trying to soak safely, SDE in the bot lane, and trying to make this 16 before the shrine is completed by KSV Black. It's going to be a Mortar Punisher this time, so it's not the end of the world. It's not even necessarily a keep if they lose it, so there's no reason to try to force a fight early, a talent tier down, when you can actually look for this level 16.
Oh, this
I
is
love this though.
though. SD alone and trying to push it forward within that time. Yes.
They force the hearts. So that means that Ballistix can't even get that bot fort they were trying to grab. They're still going to have 16 as they approach this with this wave of minions, but 15 defenders already dead. KSV Black halfway there now to this Mortar Punisher. Look at Tiss positioning. Ballistix is just going to let this go. They don't want to risk a fight. If they get wiped, they lose this series. KSV Black wins regular season. This has to be a calculated defense of the Immortal with all their heroic cooldowns available, with the ETC Mosh Pit available, with Ballistix utilizing the Divine Shield to make sure he gets in position, or allowing SDE to get a good Horrify defensively here, not trying to engage into KSV Black's advantage. Okay, Echoed Corruption's complete now. It's going to add a lot of extra damage, but will they be able to use it past this fight? If they lose this fight, they'll lose the game, they'll lose the series. Here we go. Punisher coming in here. Junga baits it back. Rich looking for an aggressive position here. Look at Hooligan. Always the angle of Hooligan is what Ballistix is hoping for. He's hoping to get into position to do a mosh. They let the keep go down, playing passively here.
Focusing on the Punisher so that they don't lose any member at least. Losing a member here means they will lose the
Cleanse.
game. There's a cleanse.
And
put them on
Horrify.
but only onto a Nubarak though. There's the Riptire doing so much more
And
damage.
it gets Ancestraled as well. SDE's the new target. He's being hit here with all these CCs. Mosh Pit used well, but not enough damage
Punisher's
here.
still there. The stun connects, and that's the multiple members down. It's so low. Are they going to core? It's 1-1 trade.
Hooligan needs to survive here. He needs to be able to come over and maybe punish play now. Since it's a 1-1 trade. He was in the cocoon again for so long after the Mosh Pit. He's trying to come over here and cut off the retreat, but he's just a little bit too late. Not going to happen.
That ancestral timing was
Perfect. It was beautiful. And they also had, with that ancestral, the cool thing was, hold that thought.
But onto a Nubarak, so
Yes.
it will be hard to kill.
Yeah, unstoppable with his burrow charge, gets away. Look at the
Too much to
entomb.
reset, but just mine away, but
Stun.
Burrow
But look at
charge will be on
Kyocha.
to kill cooldown. There's a stun.
Kyocha doing so much here by himself, healing up. SC barely survives. Doesn't look like he has spear, but resets on the chase. The grenade connects here. This could be game if Ballistix loses anybody else. Another cocoon onto Hooligan. He's not going to be able to prevent them from doing anything here. He's going to be the target. He's cleansed. He gets out. But they're going to want more. They're going for Magi here. He gets stunned. There's the follow-up stun, and the spear connects. Kyocha gets him. KSV Black gets 2 kills here now. Additionally, SDE in danger. There's the jump of the Riptire. SDE's the target. He gets stunned. Blown up here. Horrify for the escape. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so.
There's no heal coming, but this was sacrificed for that team. But they got a lot more than they should. They are pushing even further with this gigantic minion wave here. They are close, getting close to that 20 with this tower down. They will hit that 20 very soon.
Kyocha coming in here, spinning around. They have Leoric in the top lane because he's trying to prevent this push from hitting the core, but that's going to mean another keep going down here. KSV Black just trying to burst this one down. Ballistic respawns are coming through, so they can't core here. Can Hooligan prevent the retreat? No, he's mined there. The concussive mine prevents him from getting through. This is going to give KSV Black the 20 advantage. Now they just have to back off, use this macro advantage to clear camps.
They have all the control. They have the level advantage. They have the damage. What a game that we're watching between KSV Black and Ballistix here. They got 2 keeps. They were onto a chase. Of course, Nubarak ended up dying, but they got so much more than a single kill. They can give up 2 kills, 3 kills. They got 2 keeps.
2 keeps is more than enough. We talked about earlier, there's 3 keeps, there's always a chance. 2 keeps down, whole map's painted blue. The chances feel slim here of comeback. We've seen it before, we've seen crazier comebacks than this at HGC Korea. But no one can die now. They have to clear the camps, hope to soak for 20, and they're going to have to defend a Punisher that goes directly to core. Look at this. Map painted blue, Impaler's pushing hard. They want this keep. They're not even headed to the shrine. John gets the entomb, but it's on to Rich. Not much that can be done with this one. Zhonga's going to Wraith Walk away, nearly dying here. Hooligan looking for a big mosh, but everyone splits. Here's the cage. Horrify connects, but it's not a big one. SDE zoned out by the Riptire. Rich is going to get that Ancestral, and that's going to be the dead Hooligan yet again. No Uther in this fight, shut down by the Cocoon. SC trying to do what he can to trade this. They want to protect this keep. There are 6 Impalers pushing it. Kyocha soloing the Shrine.
Oh, Major CM who survives with the Divine Shield, but so low. And that's reset down, but they have a gigantic wave with them. Are they going to go to core?
Arcane Punisher's headed over here. 6 Impalers pushing mid. 3 Catapults pushing bottom. Rich trying to get some more kills. Gets caught here, actually. Very low. It's going to be a trade, but it's a winning trade for KSV. Coach is here. He's on the Sonya. 20's up for Ballistix. Way too late. And it looks like KSV Black is going to take the lead here in this matchup. 6-5 now, historically, in Korea. They win this series 3-0, and they will be the 2018 Phase 1 regular season champions.
From Korea, of course. The way how they dominated, it seemed like they were slapping through Ballistix member one by one. Very sloppy movements and rotation decisions also. They were trying to go for 4 and then they were hard back home, forced by KSV Black, and they didn't know what to do, just got the camp. They were up behind a little bit, but because of their lack of decisions at that critical moment, they were falling behind even more.
Look at the damage from Reset. Reset was a god in this final map, shutting down so many retreats. Tist as well, with absolute precision. Cocoons onto Hooligan at always the right moment. After Hooligan had used all of his cooldowns, couldn't get away, trapping him there away from his teammates so he couldn't be broken out of the cocoon. He was stuck in those cocoons for so much of these fights. Rich playing a little bit over aggressively. Finishes this series with 2 and 4 on the Maiev, but he absorbed a lot of the aggro, a lot of the cooldowns. The targeting for Ballistix was not good enough tonight. John spent most of his time in Wraith Walk, never able to really set up any combos. SDE did not deliver. The target priority, the target selection was correct, but the focus fire was never really there for Ballistix. KSV Black totally dominates them in drafts, game 1 and 2. Game 3, they bring a weird draft, and the execution is poor. Ballistix needs to go back to the drawing board before they go to mid-season brawl. They need to look at what is working for them and expand their potential drafts.
Yeah, I think this match really tells a lot about Ballistix. This meta does not suit them at all. Even if they get the Hanzo, there are lots of new heroes that's in play. Maiev, Phoenix. I think they really need to work on what they are good at and adapt into the newest meta. KSB, it showed they have already put themselves into the newest meta. They have brought Phoenix, also Maiev, made everything work. Rich buying a lot of time, being the target, forcing himself to be the target. So Kyocha and Reset from the back line, Junkrat doing the most damage. Even if he dies, they will get a better trade off of that always. That happened over and over again. Ballistix, they were focusing way too much on Rich.
The only 2 types of drafts we saw from Ballistix all through part 2 were the Hanzo domination drafts we saw, mostly on Dragonshire, BOE, and then the Genji Abathur clones. That's it. When they're forced to try to play the Abathur Genji, or when they try to play the Abathur Genji clone in game 1, they've shown it so many times that KSV Black just drops the Falstad, plays around it, positions well, totally crushes it. Game 2, they run the Maiev comp where they're trying to cage there with the Sanctification and the Silence. Totally shut down. Was very much pigeonholing themselves into that strategy in the draft, so KSV Black drafted around them. Game 3, they try to be flexible. They put SDE on an old favorite, the Gul'dan. They have Leoric to dominate the soul lane, which they were winning for a large amount of time. They soaked a lot, but they couldn't win any team fights because the coordination just wasn't practiced. They put all of their eggs in practice in these 2 comps, the Hanzo comps and the Genji Abathur clones, which is almost exclusive one or the other from them all season long, or sorry, all of part 2 at least. And it made it so easy for KSV Black to counter those, prepare for this series. They win it 3-0, bringing new styles, showing the Falstad, bringing Maiev and even the Phoenix twice. KSV Black has always been the best team in Korea at finding out the new metas first, figuring out how to draft and how to draft against stronger teams, and they showed it in this series. We came into today with that 5-5 scoreline. They've played against each other 11 times now in Korea since 2016 Season 3. KSV Black takes the 6-5 scoreline now with 3-0. They're 20-17. This has been always such a close matchup between these two, including international events like Eastern Clash, where they constantly trade victories and championships. But in Phase 1, it's, KSV Black who comes out ahead in terms of the scoreline.
It will be the first place from Korea, of course. They will have one more match left, but very likely they will dominate, and they still did not use their Medivh card. I'm pretty sure that was also ready for tonight.
Yeah.
They were able to stomp down on Ballistix of what they prepared. They might have just only showed 60% of what they are able to do in this meta. Ballistix really struggling trying to draft against KSV Black today. I think that was the most problematic. And with the heroes that they have drafted, they knew going into game, oh, this is going to be very hard. And the moment we saw the cooldown lock-in from SDE, I was thinking, okay, this is going back to what they are good at, but this is not something new. It's not something that's going to really work because there's so much sustain from Gyocha, and Gyocha was winning the fight so much. And I think it's something else that they really have to work on. Of course, they lost Noblesse, who was also doing Banpig when he was in L5 before. I think that's one of the big tools. Maybe with some extra practice and extra strategy time, maybe they can come back in the mid-season brawl big time.
Yeah, could be. We've often had the champion from Korea wins the international event. And that held true all the way up until BlizzCon in 2016. And then we had mid-season brawl again, no Korean team in the finals. Then we had the 2017 BlizzCon, where we had the wins of KSV Black on BlizzCon and then the Gold Club World Championship. So it does sometimes work out that the winner of regular season or the winner of Part 1 ends up losing Eastern Clash, for example, and vice versa. So that's happened a lot. There is always potential for upsets. Who knows? Korea looked dominant going into mid-season brawl last year, but Europe looked stronger. They were the stronger region. This season, who knows what's going to happen, but we know that KSV Black is going to be there.
This was the Phoenix game.
Yep.
Seemed so dominant with the burst damage. A salvo, the warp when you have the opponent. And Reset just made that false that work against the Genji. Usually it's very hard, guys. You would die against that Genji and double the Genji. Game 1.
Well, game 2, we saw a huge comeback from KSV Black. They struggled in the early game. Oh god, yeah, this was insane.
Pulse Bomb and a salvo onto Hooligan. Low HP, that's the target.
SC, he's trying to use this Dragon Blade, but he's body blocked by Reset there and just gets blown up. Rich going in here. He actually Pulse Bombs Magi, because SDE could probably block it with the Vault. He doesn't know if he has Vault or not, so just uses on Magi instead. Doesn't end up getting that kill, but we do see this fight at the end. Another Pulse Bomb to end this. Look at this.
With the competition B, there's that Pulse.
Boom.
Seems too easy, but that's Rich. You could never nerf him. It goes game 3. Cocoon onto ETC. See, notice the moment after Cocoon, all the DPS, SC, Magi, SDE, they are not even close to the shrine at all. No focus fire at all. So Gyocha gets that ancestral easy. The mosh pit, not even close.
Rich in this fight absorbs a lot of the cooldowns. And then they end up getting caught in this choke point. Watch Reset. Look how untouched he is, and look at how much AoE damage each one of his auto attacks does in this moment where the CC is coming through. Just totally wrecking it. SDE just not doing a whole lot there. Ran out of mana. Didn't want to tap. Ends up getting a kill there at the end. We don't see it, but yeah, it was just Reset having the better game there. Rich is going to be the MVP tonight. We're going to go ahead and jump into this interview with the winners of regular season KSV Black. G-Clef, take it away.
Hello, Rich. Today's victory, of course, congratulations. Did you expect the 3-0 tonight? Wasn't expected, but we were expected to win at least. Ballistix is a very strong team, and you guys lost to them at the Eastern Clash. What kind of things changed? We saw Ballistix not against Police against Ballistix yesterday. They were not really using the newest heroes yesterday, and we got that feeling that maybe they're not really 100% adjusted with the meta. What did you think about their drafting style? They didn't really use any of the newest heroes.
그런 생각을 못했었어요.
혹시
I wasn't really thinking that far, but I was also thinking they had that as a secret plan, hidden card for tonight's match, but didn't really happen.
앞으로 숙지해 주세요.
죄송합니다.
네, 오늘 있었던 경기에서 피닉스를 얘기는 안 할 수가 없습니다. 네, 이
And we
KSV
have to
블랙은 피닉스를
talk about
가져와서
Phoenix.
승리했고, 발리스틱스를 끝내 쓰지 않았어요. 피닉스는 좀
You
어떤가요?
guys took it twice. Ballistix did not use it.
현재 대 버전에서는 아직 하향 되기 전이라서
Phoenix
정말
before the
좋은
nerf.
상황이고,
Right now, I think,
발리스틱스가
very
쓰지
good
않았기
hero.
때문에 진 거라고 생각해요.
and I think
Oh,
Ballistix
you
lost
cheating,
because they did not
Yeah,
use
yeah.
Phoenix today.
아닌가요?
네.
왜 과감하게 얘기할 수 있잖아요.
아니에요.
아니에요?
네.
네, 수줍은 모습이지만 경기 내에서 리치 선수가 보여주는 극강의 피지컬.
And Rich, your
어떤
mechanics
영웅을
today.
가져가도 사실 굉장히 좋은 모습 보여주는데
Whichever hero that you played, it was
트레이서를
great, but
플레이했던
especially
이 세트.
Tracer.
사실 좀 불안한
Set
부분이
two.
상당수 있었습니다.
네.
어떤 식으로 극복을 했나요?
You had some obstacles in game 2.
솔직히 1레벨에
How did you overcome those?
죽는 것도 아닌데 역행으로 들어가서 죽고 좀 많이
beginning,
죽었는데 그래도 형들이
I recalled way
멘탈을
too early and then I
다독여서
died.
잘하고
I think I could have
그냥
survived.
무난하게 요즘 유행하는 영어로 존버라고 그냥 테사트레니까 그냥 버티기만
And
하면
I
이기거든요.
Tested it along my side, so as long as we just
팀원들이 좀
keep on
본인이
playing and not
실수를
dying,
했을
I
때,
think
리치
we
선수가
we had
실수를 했을 때
a
어떤
good
식으로
chance of winning.
받아들여요?
So we just kept on playing safe
그냥 괜찮다고 어차피 후반 가면 이긴다고 한타 보면 무조건 이길 거라고 그런
and
식으로
thinking
얘기했어요.
about the team fight. I think we had long game. I think we won.
네.
제가 이렇게 물어본 이유가 사실 리치 선수가 이제 다이어트에 성공을 하고
And Rich,
네,
of course,
홀쭉해져서 나타났었는데
he had a
오늘
successful
보니까
diet, but
조금 있으면 저랑
after a
비슷해지겠는데요?
while, I think you'll be about as same size as I am.
KSV의 또 다른 별명은 뭐 씨름단 뭐 이런 별명도 있는데
Well, KSV also
본인이
having
주장으로
a
올라가는
nickname of Serum Team, which is a Korean sumo style,
아니,
Korean wrestling
물론
team.
맛있는 걸 먹고 멘탈을 다독여서
We're having lots of good
대회에서 좋은
food.
성적이 나오는 거라
So I think that's also
그렇기 때문에
a
비록
contribution
살이
to
쪘지만
why we're
성적은
able to play so
올라가니까
good.
좋은 것 같아요.
그렇다면 이 자리에 있진 않지만 리셋 선수는 좀 어떻게 해결이 안 될까요?
And also
네,
reset.
안
Why is he so
사라지고
thin?
그 대열에
Are you
합류하기
sure he's
위해서는
eating the same
뭔가 좀
amount
살을
as
더
you guys?
붙여야 된다고 생각을 해요.
아니 리셋 형도 진짜 많이 찐 거라서
I
think
피치
Reset
형이랑
also
비슷하거든요.
gained a lot of weight.
그 겉으로는 안 보이지만 진짜 많이 쪘어요.
You can't really see him, but he did gain some weight also.
경기 자체가 좀 부담스럽긴 했을 것 같은데 경기 전에는
Pretty sure we were talking about some funny stuff, but how did you think about the pressure coming in?
많이 긴장을 했어요.
Before
근데
game 1, we were actually
빅픽 하는
quite
거 보고,
nervous.
아 이건 이겼다 생각해가지고
But after we went into the game, we knew that we had the match to ourselves.
경기를 제가 너무 못했는데 형들이 잘해줘서 너무 고마워요.
And game 3, I think I was really bad, but my teammates played really well, so I thank them so much.
항상 비슷한 양상으로 뱀픽을 하다 보니까 좀 KSV 블랙도 준비하는 데 있어서 그런 비슷한 패턴으로 가지 않을까라는 분석이 된 건가요?
네.
Did you already have all the analysis done with your coach that Ballistix will not do anything crazy tonight? And the answer was yes.
도움 다 했나요 여기? 네, 더 할 얘기 없으신가요?
You finished talking?
있어요.
Or you